is Lena. I want to tell you my story. Some people will not like me, and some may feel sorry for me, but I want to be honest. Yes, I am the other woman. I am in a relationship with a married man. This is not an excuse. I want to explain how this happened. We met by chance. He was kind, confident, and had a special look in his eyes. It made my heart beat faster. At first, I did not know he was married. When I found out, I was already in love with him. He told me that his marriage was not good. He said he stayed with his wife for the children and for the good image. He said I was the fresh air he needed in his life. I believed him. Or maybe I wanted to believe him. At first, I thought this was temporary. I thought he would choose me one day. But as time passed, I understood that he may never choose me. But I stayed with him. Why? Because even though it hurt, he made me feel loved and needed. He gave me care, attention, and support. I know my place in his life is easy for him. No big responsibilities, no problems. But it is not only his choice. It is mine too. I hold on to those happy moments, even if they are rare. I hope I mean something to him. Maybe it is sad, but this relationship brings me both happiness and pain. Sometimes I ask myself, why do I stay? Maybe I am afraid to be alone. Maybe I am attached to a man who will never fully be mine. Or maybe I hope things will change one day. I know his wife sees me as an enemy. Maybe I would hate myself if I were her. But I live in my own world of hopes, waiting for small moments of happiness. And I also want to have a child. Maybe one day I will have the strength to leave, but for now, I stay. Because I love him. And love, as I have learned, is not always happy. I thought a lot about my life. I spent so many hours thinking. I loved him, but I also felt so sad. I asked myself if I could keep living like this. Could I wait forever? I felt that I deserved more, but I was afraid to leave. I didn't want to be alone. There were days when I felt very confused. Some days, I felt that everything would be okay. Maybe he would leave his wife. Maybe he would choose me, and we would be happy together. I would imagine our future. A home, a family, happiness. But those days were rare. Most of the time, I felt lost and unsure. I asked myself, why am I still here? Why do I keep waiting? I started to see things more clearly. I began to understand that this life was not healthy for me. I was always waiting for something that might never happen, and I was letting my life go by. I was not living for myself. I was living for him. I was waiting for him to make a choice, but I never asked myself what I wanted. I talked to my friends about my feelings. I told them I was tired. They told me that I deserved a better life. They said I should be with someone who would choose me and love me every day. They told me that I should stop waiting and start living my life for me. But I couldn't couldn't understand at first. I loved him so much that I couldn't see anything else. One day, I decided to stop waiting. I told myself, I need to be strong. I needed to make a choice. I couldn't stay in a relationship where I was always second place. It wasn't easy, but I knew it was the right thing to do. I spoke to him. I told him how I felt. I told him that I could not keep waiting. I explained that I needed more than just some moments of happiness. I wanted a future, a family, a life full of love. But he couldn't promise me that. He said he loved me, but he couldn't leave his wife. He couldn't make a choice. I understood. It was not easy for him either, but I knew I couldn't keep living in this way. That was the last time I saw him. It hurt so much. My heart was broken. But slowly, I began to heal. I realized that I didn't need him to feel happy. I needed to find happiness inside myself. I started to do things for me. I spent more time with my friends and family. I went to the places I loved. I worked on my goals. I started to dream about my future again. Months passed, and I became stronger. I learned that I could be happy alone. I did not need someone to complete me. I learned to love myself. I started thinking about the kind of person I wanted to be with in the future. Someone who would love me fully, without secrets, without lies. One day, I met someone new. He was kind and respectful. We laughed and we talked about everything. He listened to me, and I listened to him. We spent time together. And slowly, I realized that I was ready for a new start. I was no longer the woman waiting for someone who could not choose her. I was a woman who knew her worth. In the end, I found peace. I learned that true love is not about waiting or being the second choice. True love is about respect, trust, and being with someone who loves you for who you are. And now, I am ready for that kind of love. If you enjoy the story, please like, subscribe, and share.